Today, I'm here with Kayla Smith. We're going to be talking about the Niagara region. Kayla, tell us about the market.
It's getting busier, especially now. Like January definitely picked up, February even more so. We're seeing all sorts of buyers come out of the woodworks, but especially the investors. So they are building a new massive hospital in Niagara Falls. This is a monumental update. Is they have cranes there as of this week. Things are starting to happen. These types of developments obviously can take a really, really long time because what they're building is that. And then so Niagara Navigator, this is a program that if you're in the Niagara region and you invest here, so if I'm investing in this area and I want to know where are the schools? Oh, there they are. Airports, beaches, campgrounds, literally anything that you're curious about, you can find here.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I'm your host, Adam J.D. Martin, and I'm still freaking sick. But today, I'm here with Kayla Smith. We're going to be talking about the Niagara region and doing a deep dive into the so what after we just got our numbers update in the big market update. If you haven't already checked out that video, please go back and watch that after this one so you can get an idea of what the stats look like. Kayla, tell us about the market.
It's getting busier, which I think is the sentiment across the board, especially now. Like January definitely picked up, which is the stats we're looking at. February even more so. We're seeing all sorts of buyers come out of the woodworks, but especially the investors, which is wonderful. And different types of investors. We have, the single family, we have the new build, multifamily, massive multifamily, new, like everyone has come out from wherever they were hiding for all of 2023. And it is getting very busy. So super exciting for them and for us, obviously. So we're going to go over some just events and stuff and some updates on some projects that were happening in the Niagara region, and then some deals and some massive price drops. And then just a few tips and tricks for investors, some tools, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It was starting to look like spring out here. We were getting excited for spring market, and then it kind of dumped snow on us, eh?
Yes, I woke up this morning to a fair bit of snow and was a little disappointed. I actually ended up moving photos on a listing from today to tomorrow because by tomorrow it's supposed to be 10 degrees again.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Well, let's talk about it.
All right. So this sweet man and this whole thing, the reason why I'm speaking about this is if you're not familiar with these events, this is the State of the Region. It's on Wednesday, March 27th. It's basically the economic and development information hub for Niagara region in one day. And it's also just a great opportunity to network with a lot of the massive businesses in the area, but also other investors, other businesses. So if you are like me, I will be there and you're interested in this type of thing. This is just a really, really great opportunity. And it actually does sell out. I went to go buy my ticket for State of the City for St. Catharines and it was sold out. So don't wait. If you're there, I will be there as well. I'm assuming like most cities do something like this or regions, but it is just a really super informative day and a great opportunity to meet other people, investors, investments, and learn about everything that's going on.
That's actually really cool. I never heard of anything like that. Like maybe London had that, but I never heard of it. And that'd be a great opportunity to network.
Yeah, there's tons of businesses there, and it's usually, a lot of the actual owners will go because it's very important information that they're getting, and it's also just updates on any massive economic or development thing that's happening in the area, and it's important for us to know that as we're, debating on where to spend money on these real estate investments. It's good to know what's happening close to them.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a great tip.
Yeah. And perfect segue. This doesn't look like much. But for those of you that have been watching this for a while, I've talked about the South Niagara Hospital quite a lot. So they are building a new massive hospital in Niagara Falls, and they have a live camera. So that's where I pulled this from. So you can check it out at any time to see what's going on. But the reason why this is a monumental update is they have cranes there as of this week. So things are starting to happen. These types of developments obviously can take a really, really long time because what they're building is that. Rendering kind of blurry, so I apologize for that. But I just wanted to give everyone an update because I have touched on it a bunch of times as a good reason to keep Niagara Falls in your investment area for potential investments, because obviously with the hospital comes a lot of high paying jobs and people for the Airbnb investors or the midterm investors, people coming in for co-ops or different research projects and stuff like that. So it kind of opens up the door for a bunch of different types of investors.
I had so much success with Airbnbs near hospitals, and near being like within like 20 to 30 minute drive.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like when people think of right beside the hospital, like expand your thoughts a little bit on that as well for those of you at home.
Yeah. And the nice thing about where this hospital is going, you're kind of Niagara Falls, like obviously the Niagara region is not all that big, but it's the proximity from Niagara Falls, St. Catharines, Thorold, and Welland. It's all pretty close. So, just an opportunity there for everyone. And this is what they plan for it to look like. It'll be interesting to see this comparison to when it's done 2026, 2027. But yeah, lots to look forward to for that. Now, the more exciting stuff. Jumping into the deals, as always. I love this house. A lot of these are from Thorold, so it's going to seem a little bit biased, but it's not. These are just kind of the best that I saw. So this is in a fantastic area in Thorold. It's extremely close to Brock. It's vacant, and it has a side door to a high dry basement. And it is 1,456 square feet on above grade. So you actually have a pretty decent size. So my issue sometimes with doing a ADU in a two-story is that the basements tend to be a lot smaller because you have, the same square footage as a bungalow, usually dispersed over 2 floors. But this one's big, so it allows you quite a bit of space in the basement. So a 2-bed would be no problem. Price $499. It's vacant, so there's likely some negotiating room there. Houses that are fully renovated this size, $650 in my opinion is easy. $700 is certainly possible on the after renovation value, and it has a nice lot. I just think this is a great opportunity. Like when I said it's a BRRRR back, this is one of those opportunities. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get every penny out of it, but the opportunity is certainly there. And this could also be a student house because you could easily add a 4th bedroom upstairs, and you could add 2 in the basement.
Awesome. Yeah, that looks like a great opportunity. Great entry price.
Yeah. And it does have a newer roof, and it has a boiler. So whether or not you wanted to take advantage of the grants and do mini splits for AC or do the HVAC route, and it also has an owned hot water heater. So there's $40 you don't have to anticipate every month. So yeah, that is Queen Street.
Awesome.
And then you might have remembered this from last time. So this is 7 Maitland, also in Thorold. I'm not biased. There's just a lot of good deals there right now. So this is 2 1-bedroom units, 1 4-bedroom unit. Gross rents are $49.50. There's also coin laundry for about $150 a month. Separate hydro meters. They did do many upgrades, and then there is parking for all tenants, which is kind of rare in a triplex. I know now they would have to, but it goes all the way into the back. And then it has a large lot, 33 by 132. It's fully occupied. They just signed their leases recently, all 3 units. It's listed at $699, so we just did a $50,000 price drop. So yeah, this one is just kind of set it and forget it for those long-term investors.
Awesome.
24 Herrick, again, one that everyone has seen before because I really like this I guess triplex. So it's listed for $650. The gross rents are $54.62.50. There was just a rental increase on 2 of the units. It's 3 3-bedroom units, which again, it's very rare to have 3 3-beds. They're all close to 1,000 square feet. There is parking for each unit here. It's close to a bunch of there's brand new condos down the street, and then there's another new development happening down the other way. And this one, again, this is a set it and forget it. And as the tenants turnover, reno the units, split the hydro meters, and again, you go that mini split route, have them pay for their heating and cooling. So yeah, this one I think for the right investor, this is such a great opportunity, especially at that price. So, and those rents. But yeah, so this one's in St. Catharines. It's very, very close to the highway. It's close to downtown. It's kind of central St. Catharines.
Yeah, that's great. 3-bed units plus parking. Like, that's fantastic, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the tenants do the snow removal here.
Okay.
So that obviously helps. So yeah, this one is just a cash flow play. McRae, this one's conditionally sold, but I wanted to bring it up just in case obviously the conditions fell through. Potential gross rents here is $6,250, and there was an $80,000 price drop that was just done. So it's 2 2-beds, 2 1-beds, all above grade, 10-minute walk from the falls and the casino, fully vacant. They've done a ton of upgrades, so there's over $200,000 invested, and it was things like the front porch, obviously the cosmetics, fencing, hydro panel, boiler, control panel, hot water heater, bunch of different stuff was done. A new roof in 2021 as well. So this is just again, you could do midterm or long-term here as it's zoned R2, or you could go through zoning change with the city of Niagara Falls. I spoke to the city recently about that. They said it's anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000. However, they let you know if you're going to be successful within the first 1,500, according to the person I spoke to on the phone. So at least you don't have to spend all of it to find out that you're not going to be successful.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then this one is 5 1-beds. One would be kind of a bachelor just because there's not a ton of living space in one, but the bedroom is separate. It's on a 60 by 160 foot lot. It's commercial, so it's general commercial. You can legally do short-term rentals here. It's minutes from the falls. It's close to the new university and the hospital. And there's also a very clear pathway for, and this is accounting for broker fees and all of this stuff. For those that understand commercial financing, there's a very clear pathway to get 90% of your money out of this deal within a year. Very clear pathway.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, if you're thinking about that BRRRR, it's much harder to conceptualize if you're not familiar with commercial financing, but this one is it, and it's not necessarily through, a full cosmetic reno. It's through upping the rents and having that steady cash flow and the banks lenders being able to see that. And the other reason I really like this one is because if you're on a 60 by 160 lot, your development opportunities are pretty decent. Obviously that has to be cleared through the city, but whether it's building something behind this building or it's knocking this building down and building something a lot bigger, general commercial is a pretty desirable zoning. So this one I like for use now and future use. I think this is a fantastic deal.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Kayla.
Yeah, no problem. All right. This is just a little tip for the Airbnb hosts. If you haven't heard, there is going to be a solar eclipse at the falls, and National Geographic has listed this as a top 2024 adventure. So April 8th, I think it's 2 p.m. to 4:30-ish. And if you haven't already, make note of this in your calendar by way of a price increase for Airbnb hosts, because people are coming here for this reason. There are solar eclipse enthusiasts around, which I was not aware of. So just a fun and also if you're interested in that stuff, go to the falls. It's supposed to be wonderful.
Oh, that's really fun. Thank you.
Yeah. And then I've brought this up before. So Niagara Navigator, for those who are not familiar, I'm going to show you that this is a program that if you are in the falls, if you're in the Niagara region and you invest here, and here I'll just do our office building. So that's where our office is. And then now I can start to identify some of the stuff that's happening in the area. So if I'm investing in this area and I want to know, where are the schools? Oh, there they are. Airports, beaches, campgrounds, literally anything that you're curious about, you can find here and it will light them up. The other thing that I think is very interesting in here is that we can look at municipal boundaries and all of that, but capital budget points. So I'm going to try and go out so we can see some of them. Where they're going to be doing road work, or where they're going to be doing, like if you're looking at an Airbnb, you don't want them to blow up the road 3 days later. If you're looking at where the city's investing money, this is a good way to see that. as an example, there was just a homeless shelter, temporary homeless shelter built on Riordan. That was identified here prior to it being noted, like it being built. And the reason that I'm bringing that up specifically is there was a building on the street that was for sale through a wholesaler, and I let one of the people that asked me about it know that just be aware that this is happening because this is going to affect your investment temporarily. So it gives you a lot of information that otherwise you wouldn't have. And then if you're an Airbnb investor, you're looking where the wineries are, they start to pop up. So it's just they're the grapes, by the way. It's kind of cute. It's a very good way of knowing exactly what's happening around the investment you're looking at or the investment you own when you're making decisions about whether you want to invest more money in it, sell it, do an ADU, whatever you're looking at doing. This is a very, very helpful tool to look at. And it has like endless things that you can look at to see what's going on in the area.
Yeah, that's a great tool. I also saw there like homeless shelters on there and stuff like that. Like, it's honestly not a terrible thing to know about where they are because, sometimes the areas around there can be a little rough. So
yeah. So it's a great thing to know. And it's just such a helpful tool. Even if you're not looking to invest and you're just looking to learn about an area, you're not sure where you're investing yet, this is a great way to kind of I had clients from Toronto send me a message and they were going to buy one house in Toronto and now they're buying, 2 houses here because that's what the budget difference is between Toronto and Niagara. And this is a great tool for them to figure out where they want to be based off of the services that are offered. So for people that aren't from here, it's definitely I lived in Hamilton. I don't know if they have something like this, but I hadn't seen it before I saw this. So if you're from Niagara or you're thinking about investing or moving here, this is something you should know about.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kayla.
No problem. And that's it.
Beautiful. Well,
bring some value
Kayla, you always bring the heat with tools, tips, deals. Like, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. I know everyone at home is going to be grateful for having that information, and I learned some new stuff today, so that's cool.
Awesome.
And I think really great insight there too on just keeping up with like local events and things like that. If you're doing short-term rentals, you can actually spike that price, and I think that's like a really great tactical tip for anybody at home.
Yeah, and it's not just that one. Like, look at what's going on in the region. Another one is any of the winery events. Grape and wine is a huge one that runs basically all through September. So if you're an STR owner, keep an eye out for September. In the Niagara region, that's a big thing. It's in St. Catharines. So yeah, if there's a whole document that has a ton of the events on it, if anyone wants that, reach out. I'm happy to send it to you just so you can set your prices accordingly.
Excellent. Well, if you didn't catch that stats video, guys, go back and watch that right now. And otherwise, please subscribe to our channel so we can see you back here next month with next month's update, because we're doing this every single month and Kayla's always bringing deals. So you got to come back for that. So thank you very much. And again, Kayla, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.